So one of the greatest strengths of community colleges is its diversity. Diversity in background and perspective and cultures. Looking at the students that we have that come to the institution, they have a whole host of different experiences, oftentimes in different careers before coming and starting on a new career. And as everybody knows in this room, faculty and staff have very different kinds of careers before coming here and trying to pass on their knowledge to students. And last year, the National Science Foundation decided to harness this breadth of knowledge and created the Community College Innovation Challenge. And they realized that if they wanted to solve some of the nation's biggest problems, that you have to ask as many people as you can, get as many perspectives as you can. And what better way than to tap into individuals that have great breadth and background, some of the most in higher education. So if you look at the team that decided to take on this challenge, they're a great example. From Naomi, who grew up on a farm in Montana, to Sophia, who teaches sailing in Southern California, who, by the way, recently graduated last spring from Normandale. Definitely. And is going off to Cal Poly and starting in about a month, so that's fantastic. Congratulations, Sophia. So they came together as teammates, they supported each other, they took their breadth of knowledge and put it into their project. Another great, wonderful thing that we have here in Normandale is the Academy of Math and Science, and it's actually one of, yeah, definitely. In many ways, it's what brought our group together. So I'm a proud mentor of Naomi Nagel, who is in the AMS program. And last fall, I got an email from my department head, Julie Johnson, who, it was an announcement for this challenge. And I looked at it and I said, it has Naomi written all over it. And so we needed other students to be involved, and she enticed first, Tim DeCesare, who I think couldn't help it, just wanted to be involved because he's had lots of challenges, design challenges that he's competed in the past. And then they found in their cohort at AMS another scholar, Sophia Flumerfelt. And so they looked at what the challenge was for this coming year, this last year, which was looking at issues in some of our greatest needs across the nation, our greatest resource needs, which is food, energy, and water. And they needed to look at these issues and propose a solution that involved 2 out of the 3 of them. And I'm going to let them talk about the project in just a second, but first I want to give a big thanks to our STEM dean, Dr. Carrie Komodo, who has been fantastic in support. Thank you. I also want to thank our president, Dr. Joyce Esther, and the director of AMS, Kim Klein, who's out there maybe somewhere. They personally came down to Washington during the last parts of this event and supported us and cheered us on. It was amazing. Thank you very much. So let's have the students, Naomi, Tim, and Sophia, come and talk about the project.
Hello everyone, I'm Tim DeCesare.
I'm Naomi Nagel.
And I'm Sophia Flumerfelt.
And our project is energy from wastewater. So our proposed innovation was to put, for the first 2, we had to pick an innovative solution at the nexus of food, water, and energy, and we picked energy and water. So our proposed innovation was to put a hydrokinetic turbine at the effluent channel of wastewater treatment plants. And wastewater treatment plants are completely gravity fed, and at the end of the process, after all the water has been treated and processed, there's a drop off at the end of just a natural waterfall where there's just energy being waited to harvest. So the turbine would go right underneath that drop off and provide 24/7, 365 days a year energy for the wastewater treatment plant itself. Since we always use water, there'll always be water to treat, and water will always be flowing through the treatment plants.
When we started this project, we wanted to make sure that it was low cost, that it could go into pre-existing infrastructure, and so that's how we found the wastewater treatment plants. We wanted to see if we could apply it everywhere, all over the United States, and in third world countries too, which our project really can be.
Another thing about our project, what we liked, we started out actually thinking about putting it in like nature reserves or like ponds or natural waterfalls, but we didn't want to destroy any natural beauty. And so with the help of the DNR, we were able to kind of refocus our vision, and we looked at treatment plants, again, because as Tim said, there's always water in them, they're always flowing, and unlike other forms of renewable energy, you don't actually have to see our idea on a landscape. It's already in an infrastructure, so it's out of sight.
So, like Angela said, we found this through her and the physics department, and it was a wonderful competition for community college students because the requirements were, we were able to tackle them while we are all engineering students and having a full class load. So what we had to do was submit a written entry that had 4 portions: problem, solution, impacts, benefits. And we worked with a community partner. We worked with the Metro Council and wastewater treatment plants, and also the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources. And we also had to make a 90-second video explaining to the public just a general overview of what our proposal was. Then we were notified that we were finalists. That was a very exciting day. There were some tears, there was some laughter, and Tim called his mom and said, "Are we busy this day? Because I got something to do." So we were very excited. We had to attend a webinar and get more information about what was going to be required of us. We were given access to 2 National Science Foundation advisors, pictured here, Bill and Doug, and they worked with us saying, you know, this is what the NSF likes, doesn't. We conducted phone interviews with different wastewater treatment plants and an executive from a company in New York City. He had worked on Wall Street before, so it was really cool. We had to develop a prototype. We worked with a professor from Hennepin Tech and to, use their CAD modeling programs and 3D print. And we did work in the Fab Lab here quite a bit too to build our prototype.
So the National Science Foundation put on a 4-day boot camp for us, which consisted of workshops and seminars. We had some speakers, but the 2 main people who spoke were at the events were the Deans of Business School from Howard University and from U Maryland College Park. And they were fantastic in giving us diverse workshops. Because NSF is very science and STEM-based, they hired out these entrepreneurship people to come in and talk to us about how to really pitch a small business idea, and that's essentially what our competition was. It was these 10 teams that came through, and you had a 4-day workshop, and at the end you gave a 5-minute business speech. So you had to convince the people, why should we invest in your idea? And we had seminars from value propositions to developing your customer needs. We ran some mock interviews. We had people from the National Science Foundation come in and talk to us, conduct interviews with us. And through that, we were able to develop some networking relationships with the other finalist teams. But they were very packed days. They were, 8 to 5:30 every day. And, we were always up on the floor and talking. And you what's your opinion on this? And, cold calling like that. So it was very intense, but it prepared us for our business speech, which we gave at the end of the competition. And also presenting on Capitol Hill, like Angela said, we had the most support of all of the schools. We had Dr. Esther, we had Kim Klein come out, we had Angela, both of our NSF advisors, and Representative Paulson, who came out. And he spoke a little bit at the event, and it meant a lot to have that kind of support there, especially because it was just a couple hours for this event. But there were a lot of people, and it was a lot of fun to see everyone's hard work come together, and just the air of support, even though it was competitive it was very friendly and everyone was supporting each other, and I really valued that. It was nice. And again, part of our support system, Bill and Doug, they both work for the National Science Foundation. They come from different backgrounds. Bill on the right, he used to be a professor of, was it physics and math? And Doug works for the National Science Foundation. He's an Einstein Fellow and is known nationally. They were wonderful, absolutely wonderful, and very integral in our process of, you know, getting to DC and checking in on us.
So like Sophia said, our competition was very friendly. There were a lot of very intelligent students that came from not only engineering backgrounds, but there was like a psychology student and stuff too. And we did have some time to eat dinner in the evenings. It was real good, and they paid for it. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. So we had a very long week, and it was tough, but after presenting on Capitol Hill and then the 5-minute, it was like a Shark Tank business pitch that we gave, we did get second place. So that was really amazing to come from, you know, a small school and go to DC and realize, wow, as a student with just an idea, I can go out, my voice can be heard, and I can make a difference. So, thank you.
Thank you. So part of what's next, we are looking at trying to continue to develop an idea lab here. An idea lab, we say that because one of our closest teams that we made friends with was from Red Rocks Community College in Colorado. And they have this idea lab, which encompasses all departments of their community college, so music, film, English, math, science, and they all come together and they all kind of worked on this project. So for their project, for our project, we did everything ourselves. We did the video, we did all the writing. For their project, they were able to have people from the film department or from those classes help them with the film aspect and the writing. They had a lot of writing help from other departments and chairs like that. So it was kind of a full school cohort collaboration. So we think it would be something beneficial to implement here at Normandale, especially to get more involvement and just more word about that. And we're all Academy of Math and Science scholars. I'm now out of the program, but these two are still in it. And some of those scholarships are sponsored by the National Science Foundation. And as a sponsor by that, you have to conduct a research project. And I don't know if they were notified of it, but I know Naomi was, and that's how we heard about the competition. But maybe just more general knowledge of the competitions, because there's so many more than just one competition out there for the country. In addition to that, just getting more people involved in projects through kind of that outreach. Like we said before, we were able to use the Fab Lab, and that accessibility is kind of restricted for some students. So maybe even just a tour of the Fab Lab or more connection with it or expanding the space, maybe even offering some classes or some courses for students who are interested.
So during my Intro to Engineering course, when I met Angela, and there was a student who came up and said, I'd be really interested in being a babysitter kind of the Fab Lab. As in, like, there are people who sit at the front desk of the computer center. And, you know, if there's money in the department to have someone there so that it is open and more accessible to students, you know, that was an idea that we thought was really cool. And to be able to make what all is available to us at Normandale more accessible, and like have a platform to communicate the opportunities out there would be really amazing, and I think help get more students involved and out there and able to have these experiences.
And this is just a group picture of all the finalist teams on the last day. And we had people from West Virginia, Colorado, Nebraska, all over the country. So it was a lot of fun to meet them all and their advisors.
From all of the work that we did with this project, I think what came out most for me is knowing that we as students can make a difference, that we are the leaders of tomorrow, and developing renewable energies, saving the world, and finding solutions for food, water, and energy. These are very important problems. So I hope that's a good laugh. But it was an amazing experience, and we really appreciate all of the support from Normandale and the community, and thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, guys. Fantastic job. And if you want to see more about what they did on their project, there's a reception that's going to be held today in K 1450 from 10:30 to 11. So that's in the Student Center. Come and see what they did. And here's Joyce Hester.
Again, I want to tell you how proud we are of these students. And you can see from the last photo, I will say that they were the best dressed team. When I arrived on their first day, they both had on these, all of them had on these amazing red outfits, and as you can see, they had on their black suits with red shirts. They were the best dressed team. So my way to say thank you on behalf of Normandale, and you can open them, is just to, this is for you, Tim, they're kind of sized a little bit. But you could take it out and show everybody what you got, but it's just our way of one for you. When you go to California, tell them where you came from. And, but just we want to show you how proud we are of you. Since they worked on water, we gave you something to hold water, right? And also a shout out for the bookstore. Those are some new items in our bookstore. Thank you very much. One more round of applause for our amazing students.